I want to share something with you right now in terms of time. We look at time, right? Our life is made of time. Someone lives so many years, 80, 90, 100 years. Whatever that might be, it's still a relatively short span. And yet, if you truly live in that short span, then you'll feel like you've lived an abundant, long life. You'll feel like you've lived 500 or 1,000 years. It's a quality of your time is what it comes down to. And I want to share with you right now that your life is made of moments. That the decades break down into years. The years break down into months. The months break down into weeks. The weeks break down into days. The days break down into hours, which break down into minutes. The minutes break down into moments. Seconds are moments. Master the moment and you master life itself. In order to do that, we must be aware of what I call drift. Now, drift is when you're sitting down, say, to get some work done, and you check your email and you check your Facebook and someone texts you and you've drifted. So you try to get back to work and then the phone rings and you answer it or someone knocks on the door. You're drifting all the time. So it ends up taking you 3 hours, what could have been 1 hour or even a half hour of solid focus. So how do we avoid drift? Well, we intentionally set our intention. Remember the intention? We set our intention. What we call in NLP, it's called segment intending. That means what is your intention for a segment of time? So what I do is I focus for a segment of time. I have my intention and then I allow nothing else. Nothing else, no drift. It takes a little self-training, so no drift. No check email, no check Facebook, no check text. Just focus. Don't check the news. The news is a huge waste of time, by the way. Simply scan the headlines. You never need to dive in and read a full article. It says what happened. That's enough. Also, look at how a headline can be deceiving. You'll find they're often deceiving, where they say something and it's not really what happened. So the media is very, very deceptive and also just a waste of time, even if they weren't, because all of that information isn't necessarily relevant to you. When you understand the root, you understand all of its blossoming. I make my decisions based on principle. Not on personalities, not on the news media, not on fashion. Okay? So I have timeless principles. While technology changes and fads change and fashion changes, principles don't. Okay? Facts can change. Today is Monday. Well, that'll change tomorrow, won't it? But truth never changes. And that is the timeless spirit of a warrior. So avoid drift. Avoid scanning news media and drifting off to these distractions. Have time for that. Block time for that. Schedule a time for that where you do that deliberately. That way you get it done. You satisfy your curiosity and your social media or the news or whatever it might be, and don't do it outside of that block time. Then you won't drift. Now, if you do this one thing alone, it would save you a tremendous amount of time and thus your life. You waste an hour, you never get it back, because let's say you're only given 100 years. Well, that hour is very valuable. Time is valuable. Learn to say no more. Learn to say no to things that are irrelevant and distracting. For example, getting caught up in chatter and conversation streams that aren't important. Learn to focus on what's truly important. And schedule social time when you can chit-chat and kick back and just drift. Schedule that time. That way you won't be at the beck and call of those distractions. That way you be in control. It's kind of like a fire hose. Your energy and your time is like a fire hose, and a fire hose is very powerful. It can knock people down. It takes several firemen to hold that fire hose, but when you take control of that, you can focus it to put out a fire or even power a steam engine across the ocean. So it's very powerful. So take control of your time. Take deliberate and volitional control of your time so that you can be able to say yes to the things that matter most.